All right, guys. So I'm gonna say today beginner intermediate. So nothing too crazy, but I'm gonna throw in a couple hard moves just to challenge you, and we'll touch base at the end. Okay, here we go. All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start laying down on our back, and we're gonna bend the knees. And wherever your natural resting position is for your spine, that's going to be your neutral spine. So the knees are bent, the feet are planted on the mat, and we're going to take our hands and put the hands on the sides of the rib cage. And what you're going to do is you're going to inhale into your hands, like two big balloons inflating, and then on the exhale, you're going to push the air out of your lungs, and you'll feel your abdominals contract just a little bit. Big inhale. Exhale, we push the air out like you were blowing up a balloon. We inhale. Sometimes I do make people blow up a balloon just because it gives them that external reinforcement. We exhale the breath. It's a forced exhalation because if you just allow the body to exhale without forcing the air out, it doesn't activate any muscles. And our goal is to activate the abdominals, so we want to push the air out for this exercise. Inhale first. Exhale, push the air out. You'll feel the abs contract just a little bit. Let's do two more. Big inhale, exhale, push the air out. Your stomach muscles will tighten up a little bit. Last big inhale, exhale. We push the air out of the lungs. We get a nice little contraction in the stomach. Okay, moving on. So that contraction you had, that stability you had on the exhale, we want to try to keep that. So we're going to inhale first, exhale, contract, lift one leg up, lift the other leg up. You can breathe normally from here on out, but that just gives us a nice strong base of support to work from. What we're gonna do, y'all, is drop one foot to our mat at a time without letting our spine move. So if your spine, you're in neutral position, if you feel those parts of contact on the floor, we wanna keep them there. So you don't want the weight of your leg to pull you into an arched spine. So one thing I do is I put my hands on my hip bones and I make sure that my hip bones are not moving forward and back or hiking side to side. We want to make sure the hip bones stay really still. To make it harder, we take both knees together, we squeeze our knees together, squeeze our ankles together, and both toes go down together, both toes go up together. I'm maintaining 90 degrees at the knee, and I'm just moving from the hip socket, but my hip bone stays still because it's a different bone. My leg bone is moving, but my pelvic bones are staying still. And that joint disassociation is what challenged the core muscles. So our core muscles are mostly for stability and to protect our vital organs. So they're important. Don't ever underestimate the power of a strong core. Let's do two more of these because these get a little bit harder. Last ones, keep squeezing your knees together, squeeze your ankles together. And now we're gonna reach one leg out at a time. The lower the leg, the harder it's gonna be. So if you lower your leg and you find your pelvis is tipping or maybe your lower back is coming off the mat, then take your legs a little higher. If you're tall, this is a harder one because you've got more leg to support in the air. So if you're taller, maybe take it a little higher. If you're a short like me, you can go maybe a little lower because it's less leg to support in the air. So it's actually, exercises like this are a little bit easier for shorter people, but don't worry, there's exercises that are harder for me than for taller people. All right, here we go. We squeeze the knees together, squeeze the ankles together, both legs out together, both legs in together. The hips do not move on this one either. They stay really still. So the weight of my legs is being supported by my abdominals. So I want to transfer all the weight from my legs and I want to put it into my abs. And if your legs go too low, you'll feel your back come off the mat, and we don't want that. So try to find that challenging place where your pelvis is still and your back is still. Let's do two more. Two. A lot of times people say, oh, I feel it in the hip flexor so much. Well, you'll feel it there a little bit. It's not the end of the world, but try to get those lower abdominals engaged to offset the load of the hip flexor. Okay, here we go. Legs up to the ceiling. If you have tight hamstrings, just bend your knees a little bit. If your hamstrings are loosey-goosey, then you can reach your legs all the way up. We're gonna go heels together, toes apart. So I'm in a Pilates V shape, like a little bird. I lower one leg down at a time. We call this scissor legs. It's exactly like what it sounds. Your legs become the scissor. You're cutting the air with your legs. And we're slightly externally rotated at the hip, not really at the knee or the ankle, but really up at the hip joint. And it's a little more inner thigh. Definitely some abs going on here. A lot of stability. Let's go 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Now, here comes the fun. Both legs down together, both legs up together. This one gets challenging because our legs are heavy. They're heavy. They take a lot of effort to lift and lower. So a couple options. If this is too much, just bend your knees. You could take the hands and put them under the pelvis. That will give you a little more leverage to go a little bit lower with your legs. But the biggest goal is to keep your spine from moving. So we want to keep our back solid on the mat. We don't want it rocking and rolling, hiking, twisting. It stays very still. Let's do 3 more. I'm definitely feeling it. I'm sweating already. I haven't even really gotten going. 2. Oh. Last one, guys. And then we're going to bring our feet to the mat. And let's bring our hands to the mat too. You want your feet to be about 6 inches from your pelvis. If your knees don't bend that far, you can take your feet a little farther out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to build a bridge. We push down in the heels. We lift up with the hips. We pull the belly button and the rib cage down. And then a nice slow roll down. We bridge up, heels down, hips up, pubic bone up to the ceiling, ribs are in, and we lower back down. When we build our bridge, we want a nice straight line from the throat to the knees, right? Nice and straight. So if I arch my back, I'm thrusting my stomach to the ceiling, and that's a no-no in Pilates. I'm definitely a yoga person, so we do that in yoga for different reasons. But for today, for this class, belly button in, ribs in, pubic bone up, hamstring and glute squeeze. Nice slow roll down. The hamstring and glute area, it's that gluteal fold. It's where your glute meets your leg. We want to squeeze that. Like you've got a little pencil back there. What did I say the other day? $100 bill. Ooh, squeeze it. Because it's the posterior chain. It's the back of the body, the backs of the legs. And we're going to need these muscles when we're doing all our work when we're standing, which we're going to end standing today. Okay, let's make it a little harder. We bridge up, hold the bridge, keep your hips stable. We're going to take our left leg to the ceiling. We lower the left leg down, we lift it up. Left leg down, lift it up. You could bend the knee, totally fine, a little easier. Or you could just hold and keep the leg in tabletop. That one's even easier. If you want that challenge, hip bones are square. You're not hiking or twisting. My pelvis is only about 2 inches off the mat, so you don't have to be as high in your bridge, but I feel my right glute and hamstring kick in like crazy. Let's do 2 more. Good, last one. Nice, without coming down, we're just switching legs. So we switch, left foot is down, right leg is up. We lower down and we lift 2 inches off the mat. Your pelvis is slightly lifted. Put your mind's eye right in that back part of your leg. Glute hamstring, push down into your heel. If you don't know if you're pushing into your heel, try to lift your left toes off the mat, and that will tell you really fast where the weight is. Good, guys, 2 more. 2, 1. Then we bring that foot down. Let's take a nice slow roll down, and now we're going to take our hands behind our head. You want to cradle the head like a little baby because our heads are very heavy and our neck muscles are small, and they really shouldn't have to work very hard when we're doing abs. So we're putting our hands behind our head, cradle your head, tuck the chin slightly, and then we curl, but only from the upper stomach. Come back down. Your chin and your chest relationship is really not going to change that much. I think the misconception with upper crunches is that it's a head thing. It really doesn't have anything to do with your head. My head is attached to my trunk, and so my head lifts. But the real work is happening at these upper abdominal muscles. So if you're ever wondering what your head's doing, you can stick a tennis ball under your chin, and you could do all of your upper ab work with that tennis ball. And it's really kind of amazing how limited people feel when they take their neck out of the equation, like, oh, I really don't go very high. It's like, well, you were never going very high. You just had that false sense of body and space because your head was moving so much. So try to keep your head really still. And my head is just resting in my hands. And all of a sudden I don't have to use my neck so much. It's such a nice feeling. Let's go 3 more. We're still pressing the air out. Okay, here comes the fun. All right, we curl up. Keep the curl. Our shoulder blades are almost off the mat. We're coming back to our tabletop position. Knees are lifted, toes are lifted. My head is up. I drop 1 foot down at a time. Guys, we're gonna go through all of our ab series. We will go a little faster because our head is up. But this is where you'll really start to feel the core kick in. So try to keep your head up. Of course, if you get tired, you can drop the head back. Let's take both feet down together, both feet up together. The reason we're taking it slightly faster and less reps is we've already done it. This is just a progression because our head is now lifted. Squeeze your knees. Let's go for 3 and 2 and 1. Bicycle time. We reach 1 leg out at a time. Try to point your toes if you can. If you get a cramp, flex your feet, but be solid all the way through your leg. Don't let it just drop at the ankle. Make sure you're reaching all the way through your toes. Okay, both legs out together, both legs in together. Both legs out together, both legs in together. Here we go. If you have to do a little wiggle, readjust, go for it. Let's go for 3 and 2 and 1. Big scissor time. We go up to the ceiling, heels together, toes apart. I'm externally rotating from the hip. If you have tight hamstrings, bend your knees. You can do it. Trust me, if I can do it, you guys can do it. Let's go for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Both legs down together, both legs up together. This is the hardest one. So I'm only going 6 inches, maybe, but my spine is staying still. That's all I care about is your form, because the stronger you get, the lower you'll be able to go. But we don't want to go far and sacrifice the form. It doesn't do much good if we're doing it wrong. Let's go 3 more. 3, nice strong tight tummy muscles. 2, last 1. Oof. And we made it. Okay guys, here comes a little tricky one. It's for the obliques. They're some of my favorite muscles of the body. We're gonna take our right arm to the high diagonal. So I'm taking my right arm into a Y shape. My left hand stays behind my head. I'm gonna curl up and twist and bring my right hand to my left thigh. Then I come all the way back down. I curl up, twist, right hand to left thigh. I'm trying to reach my fingertips beyond my thigh, the middle of my thigh, if I can get there. My opposite shoulder blade, my right shoulder blade comes off the mat. I'm twisting and I'm trying to contract these side stomach muscles. I also feel my top right abs and my bottom left lower abs. We can talk about that here in just a second. This one's a tough one, so I just want you to think about contracting your stomach muscles as much as you can. Let's go 3 more. 3, still supporting your head. 2, last 1. Let's switch it up. Right hand comes behind your head. Left arm goes to that high Y shape. We're curling up and twisting opposite hand to opposite leg. We're creating a long diagonal line from the left fingertips to the right sit bone. This direction works my upper left abs and my lower right abs. So I'm making a big X across my stomach with my obliques. So my belly button is the center of the X. And that musculature creates a nice corset in the front of the body. Ooh, okay, let's do 3 more. 3. Good, you guys. 2. Last 1. I like to do a little hold at the top just so we really feel it. Okay, let's take the left hand back behind our head. Our right hand is gonna go palm to the ceiling. We're gonna curl up and side bend to the right. So I'll show you on this side just so you can see. So I'm side bending to my right side and my palm is to the ceiling like I'm holding a beautiful bowl of diamonds. I used to use a lot of food imagery, but I switched to diamonds and jewelry. So You'll have to bear with me. A big bowl of diamonds. Good, you guys. This is the obliques. Again, this is our side stomach muscles. You should feel it in the right side if you're side bending to the right. Good, 2 more. Let's switch it. Right hand behind your head, left palm up. We curl up first, then we side bend. So we want to make sure we're in that curl. That way we can get a little more range of motion. And that way our head can clear the ground. So I'm just side bending. I feel it quite a bit on the left obliques here. My neck is not working too hard. Let's go 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. The last oblique exercise I want to hit while we're here, it's the bicycle crunch. We call it crisscross in Pilates. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. You're bicycling the legs. Opposite shoulder blade comes off. Point your toes, twist, twist, support your head. It's that big bowling ball, but it's got a lot of good stuff inside. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. We made it. Good job, you guys. Okay, so we're gonna straighten our legs all the way straight. My mat's been kind of folding up on me. Okay, crazy over here. All right, so legs are straight, feet to the ceiling, arms over your head. Big inhale here. Exhale, we're gonna roll all the way up and touch our toes. I get a little stuck because my back is tight. But if you can get up without helping yourself with your elbows, go for it. We sit tall, then we tuck the tailbone and we roll all the way down like you're unwinding thread. We roll up. If you need a little boost, use your elbows, grab your legs. We sit tall. And then take a nice slow roll down, all the way down. Big inhale here, exhale, chin to chest, rolling all the way up. Try to reach up and over your toes. Pull the belly button back. Then we sit tall. Last one here. We round back. Big inhale. Exhale. We roll up. A little push if you need one. Reach over your toes. And then we sit nice and tall. Okay, guys. We're going to do one that adds some rotation. So it's called circle saw. So if you have tight hamstrings, bend your knees. So you could do it like this. My hamstrings are good, but we want to be on top of the sitting bones. So we want to be right on top of our, for the PTs in the house, the ischial tubes. But we want to be right on top of our sits bones. So if you can't get there, bend those knees. We're going to take the arms out to the side and twist. Then reach opposite, again, the opposite foot 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Sit tall, twist to the other side. Reach 1, 2, 3. Sit tall, twist. 1, 2, 3. We are pulling the belly button back as we reach the hand forward. This is not a stretch, although it feels like a good stretch for the hamstring. My belly's going back, my arm is going forward. It's like you're a bow and arrow. You want to pull the abs back in the direction that you're reaching. Let's do 1 more. 1, 2, 3. Good, you guys. So now we're going to bend our knees, and ideally our feet are planted, but if this isn't a comfortable position for you, you could certainly straighten the legs out a little bit more. So what we're going to do is a half rounded spine. We call it a C curve in Pilates, like the letter C. That's what we're trying to do with our spine. So we sit nice and tall. Let's take our arms out to the side. As we round back halfway, bring the hands center, and then sit back tall. We round back, bring the hands center, and sit back tall. I'm only going back halfway. Round back, then sit tall. Round back, then sit tall. Let's go 4 more. Round back, then sit tall. And 3. Good, 2. Nice. Last one, we're going to hang out here, hold it, lift the arms up, bring the arms down. Lift the arms up, bring the arms down. Let's go 4 more. Up and down, up and down. 2 more. Up and down, up. Hold it here. Let's twist. Opposite elbow to the floor. We're reaching our elbows towards the floor. And this gets those obliques yet again. Our goal in Pilates is to move the spine in all directions. So flexion, extension, side bending, and rotation. We've hit all of those already, so we're doing pretty good. But we're going to keep doing them. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna hold center. See if you can lift one leg up, other leg up. Hold that balance. My knees are off, my feet are off. If this is hard for you, grab under your knees. It makes it a lot easier because it gives your hip flexors a break. But I'm gonna try it without to test my balance. Let's hold for 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Good, you guys. Let's lay down on our left side. So what we're gonna do is we'll start all the way down on our left side. We're gonna rest our head on our arm. That will be our pillow. Top hand on your hip. We're gonna lift our feet up, keep your thighs down, and we're gonna open and close our top knee for the clamshell. So our biggest goal for a clamshell is not to lean back. So that's why we put our hand on our hip so that we don't lean the body back. The feet are lifted so that you get more range of motion and makes your muscle work a little harder. Let's go for 4 because we're gonna make this one harder. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna add a kick. So we open the leg first, then kick, bend, then close. Open, kick, bend, and close. Open, kick, bend, close. Good, you guys. Open, kick, bend. Good. 2 more. Open, kick, bend, close. Last 1. Kick, bend, close. So now we're gonna extend our leg all the way straight. So my bottom knee is bent. My top leg is straight. My hand is still on my hip. Knees forward, toes forward. We only lift the leg about 6 inches. Then we bring it down. 6-inch lift. Then bring it down. You should feel that side glute quite a bit. And if you're feeling it more in the upper thigh, tip your pelvis forward a little bit. But I do pretty good with my pelvis stacked, one hip on top of the other. So I'm gonna stay there. My hand is on my hip and I'm not hiking. I'll show you, people do this all the time. They end up doing their QL. Their leg is lifting, but it's not because of their glute med, it's because their QL is doing the work. So make sure your hip stays still. That way you're not using the wrong muscles for this exercise. You should feel a burn in your tushy, and that's a good thing. Okay, hold it up there, little circles. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, then we reverse. We go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it here. Every time we go forward, it gets harder, guys. So if it's too much, just come back to this starting position because this is gonna be the easiest one. We're gonna go forward 45 degrees. Same exercise, 8 lift and lowers, 6, 5, knees forward, toes forward, 3, don't hike your hip. Good, circle time, we go 8 circles. 1, 2, I'm feeling the burn. 4, 5, 6, 7, then reverse. We go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Last one is the hardest one, guys. I know you can do it. We go all the way to 90 degrees. 8, 7, 6, try not to lean back. 4, 3, 2, then we do some circles. We go for 8, 7, foot is flexed. 5, 4, 3, 2, then we reverse. We go for 8, 7, ooh, 6, I feel it so much. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ay, ay, ay. Let's give that a little tap. That was a lot. Good, you guys. Okay, so we're gonna come into what I like to call a half plank. If you have a lot of bone here, it can be a little bit hard on the elbow. So what I'm gonna suggest is that you take your mat and just fold it once. That gives you a little extra cushion. If you have a pillow, you can put a pillow there. If you're on carpet, it might not hurt too bad. Okay, so half plank, we're on our elbow, our shoulders right over our elbow, our bottom knee is bent, and our top leg is straight. So I'm gonna lift up into this side plank. I wore a really baggy shirt today because I was like, oh, this will be so comfortable, but you can't see anything. Okay, so we lift up, my hips are off the ground, my leg is on the mat, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift my leg up, arm forward, leg back. If this is too complicated, y'all, just do the leg. Don't do the upper arm. But I'm supporting my whole body with my left shoulder, my left oblique. Ooh, it's the opposite. There we go. Let's go for 3. Nice, you guys. Little pat your head, rub your stomach. 1, and done. Good, so we're gonna plant our foot on the mat. We're gonna start with our hips up in the air, and what we're gonna do is twist, hold it, and then come back center. So here we go, we lift up, we twist, hold, then come center. Twist, hold, then center. Twist, hold, and center. Twist, hold, and center. Let's go 4 more. 4, my hips lift slightly to make room. 3. 2 more. 2. Last one. Nice job, you guys. So if that was challenging, I would stay there. I would stay in that half side plank. If you want a little bit more work, we're gonna go all the way up into full side plank. The next exercise, we're gonna do a hip lift with the arm over the head. So if you're staying here, it's gonna look like this. If you're going up on your hand, my top foot is on the mat, my bottom side foot is on the mat, and I go up and over, and then I come center. Okay, let's do 8. I'll count for us. Ready, set, and go. Whichever version you like. We're gonna go for 8. Lift those hips. 7, 6, really lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we made it. Good job, you guys. That's a really hard one, but I want to throw a couple hard ones in there just so we have something to work towards. Okay, endurance challenge, here we go. Side plank. We're gonna hold the side plank for 30 seconds. You can hold whichever way you want. You can do your half side plank. You could even do both knees bent and do it here on your elbow. Whatever works for you. 30 seconds, here you go. Ready, set, go. So option 1, knees and elbows. Maybe you extend the leg. Option 2, it's kind of a little in between. I'm on my hand, but my knee is still down. Nice, you guys have done 10 seconds, you're doing great. Option 3, we can go all the way up into our side plank. We hold here. Nice, guys, we got 10 seconds left. Good. Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you made it. Good job. Okay, before we forget all of our exercises, let's do the other side. So you're gonna flip around. You can use your arm as your pillow, you know what to expect. So we're gonna start with our clamshell. Feet start lifted, knees start down, my hand is on my hip. I open my top knee and close. Open the top knee and close. My knee is going to the ceiling, but I'm also trying to spin my thigh open like a little slinky. So it's two different things going on. I'm going up and I'm spinning at the same time. We talk about, it's very kind of confusing, but we talk about the spin of the hip. And this is one motion where there's a little bit more than just one plane going on. We've got an up and down and a spin at the same time. Nice, you guys, let's add our kick. We gotta make it a little harder. Open, kick, bend, and close. Open, kick, bend, and close. The reason we add the extension is to increase the lever arm. So if my knee stays bent, my leg is lighter in that position. If I add a kick, all of a sudden I'm increasing that lever arm and it makes it a lot heavier for the glute muscles, which are way up at the top of the body, well, of the pelvis. Let's do 2 more. 2. Thanks, you guys. Last one. Open, kick, bend. You did it. Okay, so here we go. Our leg is down. We extend our top leg, hand on the hip, knee forward, toes forward. I lift my leg 6 inches and down. The reason I want to keep my leg lift pretty small is that my hip joint is not very big. So at some point I run out of space in the joint and then I have to hike my hip to go higher. Now when I hike my hip up, I'm using other muscles. And I want to avoid strengthening those muscles because they tend to be dominant anyway. Glute med tends to be weak, so I want to work that muscle specifically. I don't want to engage all these other muscles just yet. I want to keep my stability. Okay, circle time. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, then we reverse. We go for 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here comes our challenge. We swing forward 45 degrees. We lift and lower. 2. I'm going to count on these because they're so hard. 4. Good, you guys. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Circle time. We circle for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Then we reverse. We go for 8, 7, 6. I feel the burn. 4, 3, 2. Nice, you guys. Here comes our biggest challenge of all. We swing all the way forward 90 degrees. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Then we do our circle. 8, 7, 6. Try not to hike your hip. 4, 3, 2. Then we reverse. We go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Ooh, that was a tough one. Okay, half side plank. I'm gonna give myself a little cushion for my elbow. We're on our right elbow this time. And we're gonna extend our top leg. We lift into side plank. We lift our top